Hi there, I'm Justin Pritchard for Driving.ca. This is the BMW X3 plug-in hybrid, and in this video, we'll take a look at what adding plug-in power changes about the X3 driving experience and go for a spin. The new BMW X3 xDrive 30e is the latest version of one of the most popular luxury crossovers on the scene. The model range opens in the low 50s with a 248 horsepower Turbo 4, and the new plug-in powered 30e model adds plug-in hybrid electrification to the driveline, bumping power output to 288 horses and the starting ask to the $60,000 mark. If you like, you can order your X3 in one of several spicy higher performing variants like the M40i and X3M as well. The X3 is a crossover commonly bought because of how it looks, how it drives, and how it gives owners a really good taste of the latest and greatest stuff that BMW's been working on. All in a package that's ready to do just about anything in just about any weather. The latest plug-in hybrid, or PHEV, variant of the X3 adds short-range all-electric driving capability to the mix, as well as an electrically boosted performance enhancement over the non-hybrid base model. Drivers get 40 more horsepower thanks to the electric hardware. That includes a motor integrated within the transmission that can drive the X3 by itself, or use its immediate torque output to boost and smooth out the performance and power curve of the 2-liter 4-cylinder just ahead of the firewall. The motor is powered by a battery that automatically recharges itself as you drive around, but it can store externally sourced energy from a charger too. And with that extra energy stored, this X3 can drive around 30 kilometers before it has to use any gasoline. Once that's used up, the gas hybrid engine kicks in by itself and you keep on driving. You never have to plug a PHEV in unless it's convenient. As long as there's gas in the tank, you're good to go with full performance. Still, the more you plug in, the less fuel you use. So you sort of drive this the way that you would drive anything else, but then you start noticing charging stations in public, or maybe you'll have one installed at home, and then you sort of plug this in and take little sips of electricity while you're off doing other things. And every time you plug this in and charge the battery fully, well, that's 25 or 30 kilometers worth of gasoline that you aren't burning every single time. For many shoppers, this technology provides all-electric commuting and errands with full gasoline functionality for longer trips, even if you may only be using that gasoline on weekend journeys out of town. And like your phone, you plug it in, say, before bed, and that means that each morning the X3's battery is full, and that the first roughly 30 kilometers of driving you do use no gasoline whatsoever. And that range is on the lower end of the scale for PHEVs these days. Some more affordable plug-in models can drive 3 times that distance on a charge. Still, with a nightly top-off, you've got fully electric driving possible for whichever 30-kilometer portion of your day's driving you'd like to use it for. And if you plug in on the go, that expands even further. So you're totally off of gasoline for your shorter trips and backed by gas hybrid power for longer ones, so you can go as far as you like. And there's another benefit too. Adding an electric motor to a gasoline engine makes it more powerful. With the X3's transmission-mounted electric motor joining forces with the gas engine to move you along, throttle response is sharper, there's more low-end torque, and you get 40 more horsepower too. From the driver's seat, that's more response and less fuel burned. Opened up, the 8-speed automatic is a real treat. At full throttle, it quickly and precisely severs one gear from the next like a freshly sharpened Ginsu, decapitating a bunch of celery. Drivers can summon screens and displays to monitor the entire hybrid system, charge level, range, and more. You can even manipulate drive modes or when and how the stored battery charge is deployed, with EV driving now or saved for later on. And that's all referenced here in the instrument cluster. Down on the lower right, you'll see the different drive modes popping up down there, and the instrument cluster responding: Sport, Comfort, or Eco Pro, and also the current battery mode as well. There's also a head-up display, and those are sometimes tricky to get the camera to focus on, but there you've got it. And you can control some of the information that appears there too. So really, other than dialing in the exact drive that you want and what you want the vehicle to do with the stored power in the battery, there's really nothing else for you to do. It's just tapping a couple of buttons. Other than that, no driver brain power required. Before long though, you'll likely learn to just get in and drive. The hybrid system fades into the background, it's all very automatic, and that means that driving this X3 all feels very conventional. Other than plugging in if and when you feel like it, there's nothing extra for you to do or think about. Despite all the complicated stuff happening within the driveline, the X3 xDrive 30e still turns in the driving feel that's appreciated by many X3 owners. I enjoyed the low and comfortable seating position. With the seat as close to the floor as possible, entry is a simple sideways shift and plop downwards, just like getting into a big sedan, but with more headroom and bigger door openings. The steering and suspension work in sync for an eager and lively feel at the tips of your fingers, as well as tidy handling. In sportier drive modes, the X3's steering gets heavy and quick for go-kart-like direction of its maneuvering through corners. The ride and handling are nicely balanced. The X3 probably works best as a spirited highway cruiser, though the roughest around-town roads can coax more noise from the suspension than some will like. At full throttle, the engine's tastefully restrained growl grows in intensity more than volume as the revs climb, and it never sounds intrusive or overworked. With the turbocharger and electric motor shoving loads of torque down the driveline in sync, I figure most test drivers will find this electrified X3 boogies better than they might expect, especially in sport mode. Or if quieter driving is more your style, the same power-boosting electric motor can also take you to highway speed and beyond without making a peep or using a drop of fuel. At highway speeds, X3 feels heavy and stable, and noise levels are very good. I found no need to raise my voice for a conversation at speed. The X3 should have no trouble accommodating 4 average-size adults and their gear for a road trip. Just note that the cargo floor is raised. This means less cargo space and a more awkward jump-in process for canine passengers, if applicable. And if you're coming to this latest X3 from an earlier generation model, you'll likely find the interior to be a significant upgrade. It's nicely put together and flaunts the latest touchscreen graphics and interfaces, one of the most nicely executed digital instrument clusters in the game, too. The designers dialed in plenty of detail and high-end touches to help back up the asking price. Gripes, other than some elevated suspension noise levels on rougher roads and the loss of some vertical cargo space, my tester left me wanting for just one more thing: Android Auto. This fairly standard smartphone connectivity system should be rolling out soon as a software update, though without it, I couldn't access many of the functions and features that I enjoy on longer trips. Ultimately, this electrified new take on BMW's X3 delivers the driving experience it's known for, with newly added smoothness, performance, and efficiency. Depending on where you live and how you drive, it could also see you going to the gas station a few times a year instead of a few times a week. If you're cross-shopping, be sure to check out plug-in powered versions of the Volvo XC60 and Mercedes GLC as well.
Well, thank you for watching. My name is Justin Pritchard. Until next time, take care and drive safe. We'll see you in the next video.